The people that God has hidden in plain sight, you're on your way up. Come on now. I say you're on your way up. But what I will tell you is, do not want the spotlight more than you want God. Because the same spotlight that people will use to see your greatness will be the same spotlight that people will use to find your weaknesses. Come on. See, you're like an unexpected guest that God is bringing in. You see what I'm saying? Nobody expected you. This is why that one-on-one time with God was so crucial and critical to your life. This is the time where God is developing you so that you will know who you are. See, it's not who people think you are. It's who God says you are. When you read into the word of God, you will notice that Jesus say, "Who do you say I am?" Because while people were trying to figure him out, he knew exactly who he was. Some people knew he was the Son of Man. And other people went with who they think he was or who they heard he was. This is why it's so crucial that when God releases you into the world, it's best that you know who you are. Because if you don't know who you are, people will try to tell you who you are and rewrite your whole story. Come on now. You better catch them diamonds. Don't you ever allow anybody to rewrite the story that God has already written for you. You see what I'm saying? You know who you are. You know everything you've been through. And you know exactly what God has called you to do. This is why you have to be locked in with God before you ever think about being locked in with other people. Because one thing about a people, they will change on you. Everybody's not coming to celebrate you. Some people just coming out to see what's going on. They heard about you. You see what I'm saying? You on your way up. God has hidden you in plain sight, and now he's going to reveal you. You see what I'm saying? This is why you got to know who you are. That's important because they will make you doubt yourself because they don't believe in you. They don't believe you, just like they didn't believe Jesus. Like Jesus said, "Who do you say I am?" He already knew who he was. You got to know who you are. You see what I'm saying? You got to know you so you don't doubt yourself. The very important time of your life is not the time where you start doubting. Come on now. This is a very important time in your life. Don't you start doubting yourself and don't you start doubting God. You've been praying and praying, and now it's here. A lot of you are being revealed. A lot of you, your prayers are coming to pass. God is doing new things in your life. People don't even recognize you anymore. That's why they can't keep up with you. That's why they gonna think you fake. Because you're evolving right in front of them. They don't understand how that happened. You're evolving. But this is what it was like with Moses when he was on the backside of that mountain, that one-on-one time with God. You see what I'm saying? Everything that God planted in your life, the seeds, they've been watered, and now they're growing for the world to see. Prophetic message. You know who you are. And this is why I tell people, when you try to cut corners, skip the process, and you are trying to beg God to release you into your destiny before it is time, you are cheating yourself. Because what you got to understand is, in your mind, the only thing you're seeing is your greatness and people celebrating you. But in actual reality, that is not all that happens. You're getting released into a jungle. And this is why you have to have on the full armor of God. You're only cheating yourself when you're trying to cut corners from God. Because God loved you so much, he would not allow you to cut corners. Because everything that God is taking you through, you're going to need it on your way up. And that is a guarantee. You trying to cut corners to get to the spotlight. But I'm trying to tell you, that same spotlight will be the same spotlight that you hate if you keep trying to skip and cut corners. God know what he's doing. Let God order your steps and let God equip you and give you confidence, and so that he knows that you know without a shadow of doubt who you are and whose you are. You see what I'm saying? Let me tell you this. You belong to God. And don't you ever let nobody tell you different just because they can't figure you out. Some of the people, when God revealed you to the world, you're like a mystery. They can't figure you out. That's because God is all over your life. God will hide his treasure amongst people and they will never even notice it. They can never even figure it out. You see what I'm saying? Those who are connected to God will know who you are when you're coming. Catch them diamonds. They gonna know who you are. And everybody else, whether you notice or not, gonna be on the sidelines trying to figure you out. The truth is, most people will not be happy for one another. They will not genuinely celebrate you. And that is true. That's something you're going to have to understand and deal with. As much as you want to believe everybody's celebrating you, they're not. They're not. Some people don't even have the heart to celebrate you. Some people don't even have the heart to believe the changes that God has made in your life. But just because they don't believe, don't you start doubting yourself. Because like I said, you're on your way up. God is raising up a new generation, and you are a part of what God is doing. God is bringing forth people that other people would not expect. Like I said before, your unexpected treasure. I just come here to remind you, do not doubt yourself. Who did God say you were? You take that with you everywhere you go. Because every room you walk in, they're not going to be able to figure you out. You will only be revealed to the people who are truly connected to God. And this is why when you walk in rooms, you will be blessed, because everywhere you go, God will have somebody there to be a blessing to what he's doing in your life. And I can tell you that is the truth. You're on your way up.